Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Opinion Machine. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be talking about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. For those who don't know, Opinion Machine is a show where we just talk about opinions and views, good or bad, about stuff going on in the gaming world. So yes, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the game that nobody thought would work, the game people were doubting massively, but turns out was a pretty damn good game. If you can't tell, I really like this game. So I want to talk about what I like about it and what I think this does for third parties getting their hands on Nintendo IPs and also hopefully more third party stuff for the Switch down the line. So let's start off. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a turn-based strategy in a similar vein to games like XCOM. XCOM has or the new XCOMs I should say, has a very simple system. You move and you shoot, or you take an action. Mario and Rabbids takes this idea that you have movement, you can shoot or attack, and you have a special action. Now what's nice about this game is it sort of takes away a lot of the unpredictability that you get with something like XCOM. With XCOM you have a hit percentage chance depending on where you stood, what weapon you have, what range you're at, things like that. In Mario and Rabbids it gets rid of that and basically says, right, if you stood out in the open and you're in range of this person, that's a 100% hit chance. If they're behind cover, or low cover, I should say, that's a 50% hit chance, and if they're behind heavy cover, you can't hit them, unless you have a specific weapon, basically. And this is really, really nice because it means that you're playing less with predictability in numbers and you're playing more actual strategy in terms of where you need to be, what weapons to use when. So for example, in this game, you may use Mario or a Rabbid character to run up to the side of one of these heavy objects, so they're protected from one angle from maybe where the enemy is, but you now can flank them, so that now changes your 0% chance to hit to now 100% because you're on the side that they're not covered. Now what makes this game really fun is the fact that it does focus a lot on movement. So a character can run a certain distance, they can jump on a friendly character to move even further, they can go inside a pipe, exit a pipe, have so much distance and go for another pipe. So if you want it in one turn, you can get like halfway across a map depending on how the map's set up. There's multiple pipes, you can go down one, come up the other, go down another one, come out the other side and be set up to attack an enemy from a completely different angle. And this is what I love about this game. Not only is it a very competent strategy game, it has a lot of depth and strategy there anyway, but it does it in a way that's really fun for both people that are new to the series and for people that like things like XCOM and games that are a bit more complex like that. I really enjoy it because I like turn-based games, I like upgrading my characters and everything, new skills, and being able to like see that improvement over time. The difficulty curve in this game is fairly good. Only once or twice I feel like I was like, oh, this is a bit difficult. But the game never traps you into builds like most other games do. Like at any point you can reset your character using the orbs you've collected and respend them. So the way the game works is you have the Mario characters, you have the Rabbid characters. Every Mario character has a different weapon, but they all have one ability. Each character has two abilities, but they all have one ability that's the same, which is essentially what you call... They've got different names, but it's basically Overwatch. When you put this character into Overwatch, when an enemy moves and they're in range of this character, they will automatically fire at them on the enemy's face. But each character also has a different ability. So Mario can power everybody up, so he does more damage. Luigi can increase everyone's movement amount. Peach can take damage. Everyone in the area, she takes some of the damage that gets done to them. And Yoshi causes everybody to have their next shot to 100% do a super effect, and I'll get onto what super effects are later. The Rabbid characters on the other hand have different things. One's got most of them all have some kind of shield. Their other ability is something that either scares away, draws away enemies. Also you have a heal with one of them, and then the other one has the ability to weaken enemies in a range. And each one has like a shield that protects them from either range attacks or physical attacks or super effects, essentially. So what's nice about the game is each of the characters has different weapons, different abilities, different skills. Some of the skills might cause explosion things to happen, some might cause life-draining abilities. And it's nice to be able to mix and match a lot of these characters up. You meet them throughout the game, they're tied into the story, and as you get them, they're fun to use. They will have... No one's ever really hugely different, except for maybe Luigi, who is the only long-range sniper character, but the other guys have shotguns or cannons, or you have like the later characters with Yoshi and Rabbid Yoshi who have these like miniguns that are fairly powerful, damaging guns. But you can see, looking at the skill trees, all the characters have similar abilities, but then they do sort of branch out later on down the line, and you kind of put all your points into their sort of special abilities they can do that really affect the fight that you're having. So all of this combined makes a really compelling combat system and a fun battle system to have. But what's nice about it, because it's a Mario game, you have that exploration. So as you're exploring these worlds, you're finding chests with items in it, artwork, guns, all this sort of stuff, seeing these crazy worlds merge. You've got Rabbids in the Mushroom Kingdom, you've got Mushroom Kingdom stuff with Rabbids. It's this wonderful exploration part of the game and these colourful worlds, and this really good battle system that works wonderfully. It's not complex, it's not difficult, but it's good enough challenge for people new to the series and the people who like those kind of games. Let's move on to the controls. The controls on this game are fantastic. They work as you'd expect. Obviously in a strategy turn-based game, you don't need the controls to be, it's not like a fighting game, something where you need to be precise in terms of that, but they need to be easy to understand, easy to work, and they do that. They do it nicely. You can flick between characters at any time. When in a fight, you can move really easily. The only downside to this game in the combat is really you don't have an undo button. There are many times when I've moved the character and I'm like, I didn't want to be there, I want to be the square to the left or the right or wherever, and that's a bit frustrating. But in terms of controlling the characters in the battles and even outside the battles in the exploration, works wonderfully. There are no issues with me there. So this brings me on to, this game is something that I really enjoy, and I think it's fantastic, but it also opens up the idea that now that Nintendo have worked with Ubisoft and given them their biggest license to make a game, and we've seen the success of this, and hopefully we'll see more successes, it starts to wonder, it's like, what other third-party companies can take these licenses and basically make other games? Because let's face it, Mario and Rabbids is a very bizarre game, but it works really well. I want to see, as you can tell, I love the game. I want to see more. I want to see a sequel to this game. I want to see Ubisoft take, even more risks with it and create interesting stuff. But then what about other games in the series? What about Zelda? What about Metroid? F-Zero? All these other big games that Nintendo, Nintendo can't work on all of them at once. And they know that people want games. They want these first-party licenses. Why not hand them off to third-party guys? Fruity mentioned the other day that he'd love to see From Software make a Metroid. Obviously, I thought originally Zelda, that'd be really cool, but imagine Metroid made by From Software. These are the guys that make Dark Souls. Not only would that be atmospheric with these wonderful built-up worlds, that would be hard as nails. It'd be interesting to see anyway, if something like that. Another Japanese company, we never know. What happens if we give something to EA? What happens if we give something to Activision? There's these big companies. What about Rockstar? These big companies could make these fantastic IPs for Nintendo. Where's the Pokemon MOBA? That's the thing, surely, or a Pokemon MMO. Those things would work really well. Hey, let's have an open world game made by Rockstar. I don't know, let's pick something, maybe a Metroid game, give them Metroid. I think there's a lot of really cool ideas for these third parties to now get on board and work with Nintendo to create new games in IPs and a series that they're not working on. I want to see someone make a new F-Zero. I would give it to Sega again. They did a fantastic job with GX on the GameCube. What about if you hand it to some other person who does racing games? Hand it to Shinnen. They've just made that fantastic fast RMX game for the Switch and for Wii U. It's maybe give them the F-Zero license and make them make it. It's a smaller independent company, but and IPs here that Nintendo should really consider working with these other companies. Yes, it's great that we've got these third-party games coming, and that's another thing. I mean, look what this does for the Switch at the moment. We're starting to see more and more companies bring games to the system in terms of third-party games. This only benefits them in terms of, and us the players, because it means that more third-party companies are going to bring their games over, and working with Nintendo, hopefully some crazy stuff like that. I cannot wait to see in the years to come what we get announced in terms of ideas like this. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is one of the best games I have played all year, and it is one of the most bonkers games, and it works amazingly. I cannot praise this game enough. If you haven't played this game or do not own it, go out and buy it. It's fantastic. The music's really good. The gameplay is really good. Everything about it is just fun. They're bringing more DLC content in terms of story and challenges later down the line. This is a fairly sizable game. I've put about 20 to 25 hours in, and I love it. I want more of it, and I think this is something I want to see. This is why I'm so excited for this game and what this brings for later down the line. Yes, get Ubisoft on board, get them to make another game, give it to one of their studios, to make another Switch game, whether it's with the Rabbids or with someone else. Maybe they invade a different world. That would be cool. Let's see more stuff like that. Make a Metroid game, like turn-based strategy Metroid game. Hell yeah, chuck Samus in there. I'll be down for that. make some really cool things. And I think this is my biggest point now that I want to get across in this video, is that this is the perfect time for Nintendo to start doing crazy things. The Switch is on the up and up. We're seeing third parties, we've just seen Doom, and we've just seen Wolfenstein announced, along with, you know, Bethesda bringing Skyrim. That's insane. We've got LA Noire coming, you know, like, hey, these games might be old, except for Wolfenstein, but other than that, like, wow, like, that's really, really cool. That's new stuff for Nintendo fans. If Ubisoft can do this, and then we can see, you know, hopefully they'll bring their other franchises too. We're going to see companies take these IPs and make some really creative games with it. I am all down for that. So as you can see, this video is kind of like a two-parter. Like, I want to say just how much Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is just a fantastic game. It deserves all the praise it's got. It might have minor flaws, but to be honest, the game is just phenomenal. It's so much fun to play, very easy to pick up a few rounds, put it down. And also, what this leads to the future. Look how many cool ideas can come from third parties using Nintendo's properties. Yes, we've got Mario Odyssey. Yes, we've got Zelda this year. Look at all these great Nintendo first IP things. Now, what happens if they go and focus on some other stuff? Hand Star Fox to someone. You know, we unfortunately, Zero wasn't the game that what people wanted. They've shoehorned in these controls that some people liked. It was very divisive. Hand that to someone. Hand that to someone and give them an actual proper cycle on it, rather than trying to bash that out in a year. Hand F-Zero to someone. Chibi Robo, Custom Robo, Advance Wars. I mean, we know Advance Wars will be made by Intelligent System, but like all of these big franchises, we don't know what Nintendo are working on themselves. But my God, I would love to see some Capcom. Hand them, get them to make a fighting game for us. Let's see what happens in the future from this. So this is I think a huge turning point for Nintendo, and a huge game for the Switch. Like Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is that good. Go out and buy it. That's all I want to talk about today, guys. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, please leave comments in the comment boxes below. I will respond to anything and everything that gets put in there. I obviously appreciate your time for watching this, and until next time, I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.